it's a place where people would stay at night and guard the fish. There's a whole story behind that. But there's a lot of process important. The reason we moved from the other side here was because this provides us ownership, do what we want, expand where we want, no limitations, and we're going to encroach on a social environment. It's perfect for our situation.
We own about less than 2 acres. Is that what I heard?
Well, it's about 3 rye, something like that.
2 rye is an acre?
2 rye is an acre, so it's probably about 1.5 acres.
This is not part of the...
No, this is part of the people that sold it to us owns this. It's the part that's inside the fence.
I see.
Plenty of room. We've got tons of room to expand and to increase our production. You'll see part of the way the production is going when we get down and see the nursery. The little building down below that is nursery. And it's what we're doing with the white sea bass and the tilapia, the red tilapia. The big thing in the middle is 4 10-ton tanks. And we pump water in all the way from way out in the middle of the lagoon. Probably about 1.5 kilometers out we pump water in. 2 of these things. We have 2 lines coming in. We have regular pumps. It works really good. We've got a pump house and we pump oxygen into the system. So there's a lot of complexity with the system. It's not just a simple system. It's highly complex. But that system, in the beginning, when we started with the middle building, and the idea was breed the fish, get the eggs. Once those are done, we build the nursery, and we nurse them out to 3, 4 inches, 6 inches long, and then we begin to raise them, help people raise them in the area, release them into the water, all the rest of it. We've been releasing them ever since we've had broodstock, because they naturally breed within the nets out in the lagoon. We've put more spiny lobster into this lagoon, more coral trout grouper. You know, all these grouper have bred when we didn't know they were breeding because we weren't able to control it. We tried controlling on the nets, it was too much motion. But when they went out into the lagoon, people start catching the same kind of fish in the lagoon. It means we're successful.
Right.
So we want 10% to go out to the lagoon constantly. We want the rest of it to be divided between development, working with the people who are buying it now from us, so that they get a very good, high quality, low cost input to their net system, which they're getting now. And then we want to raise them ourselves and sell those fish and make money for the foundation. The 3 basic goals of what we're doing. And we've done the first, hands down, for the last couple of years, the environment thing. We're doing the thing with the community because the community got upset that it was taking us so long to learn how to do the eggs. And if they're going to have to wait until we get to how to do the eggs, we're not going to be able to do everything we want to do with them. So you know what? Forget the eggs. And at the very time that happened, we got whumped. It was almost affirmation from God. You know what I mean? Forgive me for saying it that way, but it seems terrible. But it was affirmation. Saying, you know what, you guys, you're focused wrong. You know, get your head together. And I'm going, yeah, but I don't want to get my head together because I like those eggs, breeding things, those eggs. I want to make that thing work. You know, I was resistant. You know, we were all resistant. You Jones, everyone was. So anyway, at that point, he took them away. And we turned around and we said, okay, that means we've got to start doing the second stage. We don't want to do the second stage second. We want to do the second stage first.
Right.
So we upended the whole organization. We are an upended organization focused on doing nursing and nursery. Best way to do that is find, everywhere we could find them, fish. Small, easily transportable, but die by the tons if they come to anybody else but us. We're good at making those things last. And so that's what we're doing now, is doing that section. And that means we got fish to give to the people that are growing out. We've got fish to put in our newly revised system. We used to have broodstock in 20-some-odd cages. You know, I'm really sorry, because we had great fish. We had Queensland grouper, which grows to 500 kilos. We had about 70 kilo groupers, broodstock, and we just sold them. You know what I mean? We just got rid of them because the impact of where we were going, once we got focused on God and what God was saying to us, it wasn't just, well, they took so many of your fish, you just got to try to replace them. No, man, we're not replacing them. Get rid of all those things. Because what God's saying is, I'm taking them away from you here, that means you get them out of there too, because I want you to go in a different direction.
Right.
And we did it. Okay. That's the process-oriented nature of an organization that's looking at not the right thing to do, but the really right thing to do. You know what I mean? In terms of the social context we're in. And we got rid of all those beautiful root fish except for two kinds, coral trout grouper and panther grouper. And these are both beautiful grouper. We've got some of them up here, we've got some of them in our nets, and you'll see them today. We're still focused on breeding for eggs. Those grouper.
So you're still doing some of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we're still doing it. But it's not dominating us.
Right, sure.
What's dominating us is nursery.
Right.
And
then
why did you choose to keep doing eggs with them? Are they a particular kind of fish that would...
Yeah, they're like, the difference is like the ones we're nursing now, the white sea bass. Look at my back right here. White sea bass is like, they go for kilo, they go for like 130, 140 baht a kilo. But the coral trout grouper and the panther grouper go for 1,000 baht a kilo.
Wow.
Ooh.
So
Just and they pretty much the feed conversion ratio is fairly equal. They eat the same thing. It's just that they're a different variety of fish, so they have a value added that's super. What we want to do is get that value added from this lagoon because they're both previous occupants of this lagoon, but no longer around.
Okay.
And we're just saying, good. And they all live in, both these things live in coral reefs. One, the panther grouper, is so sensitive that if we raise it in areas that has open sky, they'll die. Too much light. They're light sensitive. And so we gotta hide them under netting and under rocks and all the rest of it because they live in the bottoms of coral reefs under rocks and they don't come out except for nighttime. And they're beautiful fish, but man, are they sensitive. The other one is fairly sensitive, a little bit more aggressive. So tons of things we're learning. I mean, the fact that these fish begin as females, first year they're females, second year they'll all become males. They go back and forth from female
It's a
to male.
hierarchy, is that right?
The whole, yeah.
that they're
How do you
females?
know which ones are males and females? With a tilapia, you can take it and you can sex it. You can immediately know, bam, female, bam, male, you know, no problem. This fish, you can't pick it up in your hand. I pretty well psyched them out. I think I know which ones are males and females, just the way they look and they act, but I'm probably dead wrong. I'm probably just the opposite, you know what I mean? I'll show you what I think when we see some of the sea trout groupers. But
Now that's interesting.
you got to learn that, and then we're into technology, like with the fishery department. We've studied with them already. It's kind of like how do you determine males? How do you make males males? So we make males males in the Northeast. All of our fish up there, we make them into 99.7% male.
Right.
Because they're the best fish to raise. Okay, we know how to do that with hormones. This one here, though, you've got to make them into females, so you've got to have estrogen, and you've got to. There's a method of planting a pellet underneath their skin, right by their dorsal fin, and it seeps into their system over time, and it makes them choose to be females, or testosterone makes them choose to be males. Fairly intricate and fairly detailed. So we're in that process now of, manipulating God's
Creation?
for the sake of making them so we can breed them commercially.
For the sake
you
of
know what
God's
I mean?
creation.
For the sake of God's creation.
So anyway, just some of the frustrations. You asked, okay, share the frustrations.
Have dominion over the earth.
With everything we're doing here, because we're trying to look and see what God's doing, make sure we understand it, and then say, well, how do we make that happen more effectively for this particular context, in this particular setting? So our focus, and you'll see, will be white sea bass in getting them, and we've got a good resource for that with the Krabi Fishery Department and the Tai Muang Fishery Department, and we're doing that. And we're also working with tilapia. We brought tilapia down from the Northeast where they're all freshwater. We've converted them to be saltwater tilapia. And we've got a red tilapia that looks more like a red snapper than it does like a tilapia. So it's perfect for becoming a saltwater tilapia. Those fish, the white sea bass and the tilapia, this institution is linked integrally to what we're doing, and you'll see we're doing with the HIV/AIDS group. Because they're going to be the fish that we introduce into that community and set up a farm for raising them, not for producing them, but raising them in cages and nets and everything, so that they can have a livelihood that's going to both fund their whole budget there, but also fund families' budgets so that they have family units.
Okay, so our 1 day's wages grant is going where?
It's going here and it's going partially there. But this is what it's doing, is making this system go up to where at top we need to build 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 more different modules like that thing down there. That building down there is built of coconut wood and local product.
Are you talking about the first one we
The first
see?
one, all the way down.
The
Or the last
last one.
It would have cost us, to build it out of materials brought into this place, it would have cost us 4 times that much. It cost 200,000 baht probably to build that building. We built it for 50,000. and we built it. No one else built it. We didn't have the guy that's at the place. He
Right.
built the middle one. That building is the Rock of Gibraltar. But it's a good building because it's the core of our system right here, and will be the core.
But you learn by doing it that you
No.
don't need that. You don't need to repeat that.
And the discussion is, do we really need that building? And probably we'd say, yeah, we needed to keep water that way and to keep it up high and to keep it up off the bottom, and to be able to have root stock in there and have 10 tons of water in one tank. You maybe need it. But the other ones were into small fiberglass tanks that we're using, and we've had them built for ourselves and the way we need them, and it just goes on. So this place is not just a fish farm. This is an HIV. It's a research center, right?
Yeah.
But it's also an HIV/AIDS support system that will move from here. And these guys who have done this will send over there to do that with the HIV/AIDS people and teach them how to build the buildings, how to do all this stuff.
Cool.
And they got it, man. And then you got the spiritual aspect, and it's moving. And you're not trying
And that's
to.
how you connect the community.
Exactly. And connecting communities is what's about God and how God will touch their lives.